go.
Hi, I'm Bruce Moore, Chief Executive Housing 21.
And I'm Pam Mastrantonio. I'm the Managing Director of Retirement Living.
So Pam, you're leaving Housing 21.
I am leaving.
So you're going to be the Chief Executive of South Lakes Housing?
I am, absolutely, very exciting.
But you're leaving Housing 21 in very, very safe hands and going forward. So what have been your highlights at Housing 21 as the Managing Director for Retirement Living?
Oh, there's been so many, but obviously our Helping Hands service, absolutely fantastic. I've loved that, helping so many residents, over £3.5 million a year in additional benefits, so absolutely brilliant. The performance of retirement living is absolutely brilliant. And of course, events like the resident conferences, always a massive highlight for me. So it's been a brilliant 8 years, but I am leaving it in safe hands, so that's absolutely brilliant. What about the future of Housing 21 then?
So Housing 21's in good hands as well. I think we've just celebrated, obviously, last year our 60th anniversary, so 61 years this year. But I think the fundamentals are really sound. Our residents are the most important thing. They're the heart of our service. Our resident satisfaction is our key driver. So without that, we are nothing. So resident satisfaction, resident performance is got to be resident-centric. But to do that, we've invested a lot in our properties. The safety of our properties, but also the design, the makeovers, investing in kitchens and bathrooms, etc. on a cycle, which put us in a really strong position. EPCC is part of that process. But for me, it's not just about the buildings, it's also about the people. Our local housing managers and the closer operations managers and the ROMs and the heads have much better service, I think, in retirement living particularly, is really, really important. So we need to carry on being people-centric, mindful of affordability. There are pressures coming up in those, and mindful of the new technologies and demands. So investing in Wi-Fi in our schemes. There's a lot happening still, but you've set us on a very strong foundation. So hopefully, with residents' feedback, we will be able to take Housing 21 forward. Retirement living will be a great place for people to live, and we're in good hands. I believe.
Definitely, absolutely. So this is obviously for the residents' conference on tour.
Yeah.
So all that's left to say is have a fantastic time at your conference.
Yeah, and any feedback you can send to us, really greatly appreciated. So have a great conference.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Lindsey Leach and I'm the Head of Retirement Living in the North Region. I've come here today on this on-tour conference special to tell you all about the things that we're doing in the North Region, which we discussed at the resident conference in Leeds earlier in the year. Unfortunately, some of you were unable to make it, so we'd like to share what we're doing in the North with those of you who couldn't. So firstly, let me introduce you to the great Team North. Zoe Stampton, who is our Regional Operations Manager, looks after a team of operations managers, and they are Alison Armitage, Helen Purdy, Jan Robson, Pam Lambert, Sarah Purvis, Sunita Johal, and last but not least, Tal Singh. Your operations manager should be with you today. So the team have been working extremely hard to ensure that we provide you with the best services possible. And you know that you will have filled out your resident satisfaction survey last year. We've been working to improve those results, and we've got the Resident Satisfaction Fund, which most of you will have benefited from. We did have some dips, some highs and some lows in the results, but as I say, we've worked really hard to ensure that we are providing you with the best services possible. Your operations managers have been completing the housing quality standards, and you should see your housing quality standards certificate on display on your court. You will have had a people and property visit. This is to enable us to ensure that your well-being is good, and that also the conditions within your property are in a good state of repair. I touched on the Resident Satisfaction Fund, and here are some of the statistics of what we've used this resident satisfaction money for. You all know that the highlight of last year was our 60th anniversary celebrations. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to many events, but I looked at all the pictures and you all look to have an amazing time. So I hope you found that little rendition useful, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Louise. I'm the local housing manager at John Gaskill Court. We were lucky enough to get money from the Resident Satisfaction Fund for our wonderful greenhouse, our raised beds. The difference in the scheme with residents enjoying the garden a lot more and a lot more people using it, and we absolutely love it!
So we're here at Holliscourt, Middlesbrough. They've had projects funded through the Resident Satisfaction Fund, and we absolutely love it!
We're at Lordgart Close, and here they've had new fencing to deter dog fouling, new security lighting, the laundry's been made over, and they've had a fantastic makeover of their guest room, and it's all come from the Resident Satisfaction Fund.
And we all love it!
We're at Lawrence Hill Court, and we've got some brilliant new front doors here, and it's all been paid for from the Resident Satisfaction Fund.
And we absolutely love them. Ta-da! Welcome to
English court.
Oh.
And we absolutely love it.
Hold on a minute. You took the words right out of my mouth, man.
So we're here at Normanby Court, Middlesbrough, and they've got new benches, new planters, new fencing, all funded through the Resident Satisfaction Fund, and we
Absolutely love it.
Show you the water jets and how our paths are very nice and how they're clean, and people remark that they say it looks like Spain with the balconies and everything. It's a fantastic scheme. Thank you, Housing 21. And we absolutely love it.
Yay!
Hi everyone, my name is Corrine Askaroff. I am a tenancy sustainment and arrears advisor for Housing 21, and I am responsible for the Helping Hands service and the Helping Hands hardship fund that we have here. Part of my role is about maximising income and making sure everyone is aware about what is available to them. And welfare benefits has lots and lots of myths. They have lots of myths around it that sometimes put off people from applying. So some of those myths that I just want to sort of crush right now is some people think that it is possible to claim more than one health benefit at one time. So, for example, attendance allowance and personal independence payment. That is not possible. You can only ever claim one. So, if you are already claiming one, you have to make sure you get advice before trying to claim another one, because you might end up losing both payments. So, just to put that out there. Um, we have heard lots of times where somebody has said they cannot claim pension credit because they have savings. That is not accurate. There is actually no savings threshold for pension credit. It is based on a person's income and what is called their personal allowance. It's very in depth, so I'm not going to explain it. But what I would say is, just because you have savings, please don't put off considering applying for pension credit, because it could be a real benefit to you. So speak to your scheme manager if you'd like to know more about that. We have people say they can't claim housing benefit because they have a private pension. Again, the same as pension credit, you can. It just depends on how much income you have. So again, please make sure that you are looking for some advice and getting a benefit check around that. People saying that they don't claim attendance allowance because they don't have a carer coming in. That is not the case. Attendance allowance is awarded to help somebody remain living independently at home for as long as possible. So you do not need to have a carer coming into your home to be able to claim attendance allowance. So if you have a long-term health condition for more than 6 months that is enduring, then please go and consider making an application for that. And there's also been some confusion around council tax and housing benefit. A lot of people think that if they get housing benefit, they will automatically be awarded council tax reduction, and that is not the case. In most local authorities, you will have to apply for them separately, but you do need to check out what your local authority rules are. Something else to very quickly touch on is social tariffs. So another way of really saving some money could be finding out what social tariffs are available to you. So if somebody is on low income or has particular health conditions, they may be entitled to some financial support through social tariffs. And the best ones are usually through the water companies. They have lots and lots of financial support out there, and it's really pertinent at the moment because water bills are on the increase massively. So please have a look at your local, who your supplier is, and find out what tariffs they have available that might be able to support you. And broadband, if you have internet in your property, then you may be entitled to a social tariff, which does not affect the quality of your internet. It just affects the price and means that you will pay a lower amount. Energy providers do not have social tariffs, but they are obligated by Ofgem to tell you if you could save money by changing to a different tariff, and that will be written on your bill. So please make sure you're reviewing your bills. We do have a document available to you to give lots and lots of information along this line, and there's a picture there for you to see. If you'd like a copy of that document, please speak to your scheme manager, who will be able to provide one for you. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Antony Walker. I'm the Head of Retirement Living for the South West. But a lot of my colleagues know of me as a bit of a sustainability geek. I'm very interested in it, very passionate about it. I live in a part of the country where we're a little concerned about rising waters. We have our issues with flooding. And I'm very conscious that I've got 2 very young children, and I want to make sure that we leave the planet in as good a condition as I found it in the first place. And when you see scary graphs on TV about rising temperatures and things, I want to make sure that I've done everything I can to try and make a difference. So us at home, for example, this isn't something I'm just pushing at work. We've installed a heat pump ourselves, convincing my wife in the process, solar panels, and I've even been trying to make some little videos for colleagues, just encourage them to get into electric vehicles when they're travelling out for their resident meetings and the likes. Housing 21, our motto is do no harm in this regard. So we want to make sure that Housing 21 doesn't have an adverse impact on the environment. At the same time, we're very conscious that we don't want to be pushing up resident bills either. So that is always in our mind when we're thinking through these different trials and pilots. Now, we are testing out heat pumps. You'll have seen of them in the media. They do work well. Ignore some of the FUD that you'll have seen out there. We've tested some air source heat pumps down in Cornwall. So we're seeing how they go. We've put in we've connected up actually to a heat network up in Gateshead, where they're using the heat from the old mines, the water up there, and they're pumping that through the district to provide heating. Fantastic bit of technology. We're testing out something called electric wallpaper, which involves infrared technology. And we've also tested some biomass as well, so feeding in wood pellets and burning them as a way of providing heating. Away from that, we're also looking at solar panels. I know lots of residents are very interested on that front. What we are looking at now is when we're replacing roofs, we're looking at whether we can install solar panels as part of that process. One of my schemes in the southwest has had a huge solar array installed. And because they pay us for their individual electricity as well as their communal electric, they're seeing some really big savings on their bills, or will do certainly. We've also installed some solar tiles onto one of our new build schemes, which not just really effective, but aesthetically look brilliant as well. Finally, on electric vehicles, because I know some residents are interested and would like to get one for themselves. We know this is a difficult situation because residents might not want to get a vehicle because there's no charger on site. We're not sure about installing chargers because there's no electric vehicles. Well, on some sites we are installing it now, and we are testing it and piloting it out across the country. So we're seeing how that goes, and we're trying to match those installations to demand. A final note on kind of your role and how you could perhaps help us. Reducing energy consumption, of course, is a huge thing. One of the big things we can do is where we have communal gas boiler sites, we are seeing some schemes make agreements to turn off the heating during the summer. So perhaps for a period from May until September or something like that. It's something that can be communally agreed. What we are seeing is quite significant energy savings on that. It is saving residents money. So it's a really good thing to look at. And if that's something you think your court would benefit from, do have a chat with your ops manager. Anyway, thank you for your time. Hope to see you at the conferences next year.